Hi there. I hope I'm going to finish the surge in this segment. It might take one more, but I hope. We're reading with permission by Scholastic. 7:45 a.m. The sat phone, Chase said. It's probably your dad, Rashawn shouted down. He's called a couple of times. The phone continued ringing. Chase wanted to run through Pet's ring and answer it, but that would surely draw Hector's attention. He and Nicole continued their slow walk down the center of the barn. Where is he? Chase asked. He's on his way here, and he found Nicole's dad. Oh, thank goodness. Is he okay? Nicole shouted. Yes, he's with Chase's dad. The phone rang 5 more times, then went silent. Maybe we should wait for them, Chase said. On the way and getting here are 2 different things, Nicole said. Chase knew she was right. They were midway down the center of the long barn. Getting back to the bunkhouse door would take just as long as continuing on to the elephant ring. The only difference was they knew Hector wasn't behind them. Hopefully, at least, Chase said. What? Nicole said. Nothing. Let's get this squeeze play over with. Guys, Rashawn called out quietly. Her change in tone stopped both Nicole and Chase in mid-step. They swung their headlamps back and forth frantically, trying to see what she had seen. Nicole tracked her headlamp's beam with the shotgun. Chase held up the fire extinguisher in one hand and the tranquilizer pistol in the other, while turning a complete 360. Look at Pet, Nicole said. She was standing perfectly still with her ears flared and her trunk in the air. What's she doing? She's looking up, Nicole said. They tilted their heads back. 30 feet above them was a series of catwalks, and slinking down the one directly above them was a leopard. So up in really high buildings, they have like walkways, and those are called catwalks, and they're not very secure. You have to be careful walking along them. How'd he get up there? Chase asked. He climbed up on these bales of hay, Mama Rossi said, rushing out from behind the stack. That's why I couldn't answer you. Hector was less than 20 feet away from Rashawn. Shoot him, Chase said. I can't, Nicole said. He's too close to Rashawn. Use the ladder, Rashawn, Chase shouted. No time, Mama Rossi said. Jump. 7:46 a.m. Are you kidding? Rashawn shouted. I can't even see the net in the dark. Relax your body, Mama Rossi called up to her. Land on your back. That's easy for you to say. Sorry, ma'am, I don't mean to be rude, but it's true. Rashawn looked along the catwalk. Hector stalked towards her in the flickering headlamp lights. She turned her back to him, got down on her knees on the edge of the platform, and scooped Poco into her arms. This is stupid, she said, and then she rolled off the platform into the air. Rashawn felt her stomach lurch into her throat. She couldn't tell if she was falling backwards, forwards, or head first. Hector leapt for the platform just as Rashawn dropped into the darkness below. Mama Rossi reached the net before Rashawn's second bounce. Roll! Rashawn was horrified to see that Hector was 10 feet away from her, trying to regain his footing. She rolled. Nicole yanked the pistol from Chase's hand and ran under the net. He rushed forward to help Rashawn. Take Poco, Rashawn said. He gently took the little monkey from her and stepped back as she did a backward somersault off the net. Pop! Hector jumped up into the air, snarling. Nicole came out from under the net. I think I got the dart in. He's not too happy about it, Chase said. What dart? Rashawn asked. Tranquilizer dart, Nicole explained. Hector was trying to pull the dart from his hind leg with his teeth. His claws are snagged in the net, Rashawn said. He's getting tangled up. Perfect, Mama Rossi said. Let's put the cat in the bag before he gets untangled. What about the tranquilizer? Rashawn said. It takes a few minutes for it to take effect, Mama Rossi explained. Hector can do a lot of damage in a few seconds, Nicole added. She looked at Mama Rossi. Do you want to fold it up like we do in the show? Yes, but we'll have to do it a lot quicker, Mama Rossi said. What are you talking about? Chase asked. Watch, Nicole said. Can I borrow your headlamp? Mama Rossi asked. Chase handed Poco to Rashawn and took the headlamp off. Once Mama Rossi had the headlamp over her gray hair, she and Nicole went to the far end of the catch net and took up positions on opposite corners. Ready? Mama Rossi called out. Yes. On 3. 1, 2, 3. The ends of the net dropped to the ground. They picked up their corners and hurried forward, pulling the net over the top of the struggling leopard. When they had the net halved, they brought it back, quartering it, and so on until the net was about 4 feet wide. They flipped the ends up and stood back, panting and admiring their work. Leopard in a cube, Rashawn said. He's already starting to slow down, Nicole said. We should be able to unwrap him and haul him into the cat cage in a few minutes. How's Poco? Mama Rossi asked. The 30-foot drop doesn't seem to have hurt him, Rashawn said, placing Poco gently into his owner's small hands. How are you? Nicole asked Rashawn. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be, but I never want to do it again. Ever. I guess the drama's over, Mama Rossi said. Chase looked at his watch. Had it really just been 24 hours since he stepped into Palm Breeze Middle School? Pet trumpeted, and they all returned to the ring. The drama was not over. 7:57 a.m. Mama Rossi and Rashawn had rushed back to Pet's ring. Chase waited with Nicole to help her carry Hector to the cat cage. They started carefully peeling away the net. How will you know he's out? Gentle prodding, Nicole said. She found a broom and unscrewed the handle. Each time they pulled a layer off, she tapped Hector on the head and waited. If there was no reaction, they removed another layer. One layer left, Nicole said. They could see Hector clearly now through the fine mesh. His eyes and mouth were open. Nicole touched him several times around his ears and muzzle, waiting for a reaction. I think he's down for the count, she said. They pulled the last layer off. Hector didn't move. Now what? Chase said. We pick him up and carry him to the cage. Have you ever had one wake up while you're carrying it? I've never picked up an immobilized cat before. That's encouraging. But I've seen it done a half a dozen times, and I've never seen one wake up. Let's hope your perfect record isn't broken this morning. Hector wasn't heavy, but carrying him was awkward and painful for Chase's bad shoulder. Nicole took the head and front legs. Chase took the hind legs, and they shuffled their way to the big cage. They were halfway there when the door to the barns opened, and they were blinded by several flashlight beams. Marco was the first to reach them. Dad, Nicole shouted. I'd give you a hug, but I see you have your hands full. Is he dead? Tranquilized. John, Tomas, Cindy, Mark, and Richard joined them. You okay? John said, staring at the leopard. We're fine, Chase said. John grinned. Guess you had an eventful night. Chase returned the grin. You might say that. You need a hand? Yeah, my shoulder got banged up. Tomas stepped forward and took Hector all by himself. Where? Follow me, Marco said. John introduced everyone as they followed Tomas and Marco. We'll put him in one of the holding cages, Marco said, sliding open a guillotine door. It will be easier to deal with him in here after the drug wears off. Tomas laid Hector inside on a bed of straw. Is that you, Marco? Mama Rossi hollered from the other end of the barn. Yes, Mama, he hollered back, and then he looked at Nicole. It sounds like your grandmother isn't any worse for the wear. He closed the door. You better hurry, Mama Rossi called. I think your elephant is about ready to have her calf. 8:15 a.m. Everyone had gathered around the elephant ring, waiting. Mark had started his camera rolling. It's kind of dark in here, John observed. We have some spare generators in our trailer. Tomas and I could go and... Not a good idea, Dad, Chase said. Why not? The weather's fine now. That's not the problem, Chase said. There's a lion locked in the trailer. What? About halfway through his explanation about how Simba had gotten into the shop, Pet gave birth. The calf emerged with a whoosh of fluid, hitting the hay-covered floor hard enough to break the pinkish embryonic sac. The tiny calf started kicking immediately. Pet whipped around. For a moment, it looked as though she was going to step on the calf, but then she nudged it gently with her foot. She reached down with her trunk and pulled away some of the sac from its wrinkly gray skin. I had no idea elephants had that much hair when they were born, Richard said. I didn't either, Cindy said. The calf struggled to get up, but couldn't seem to get its long legs under its body. Is it male or female? Nicole asked. We won't be able to figure that out for a while, Marco answered. It looks strong, Rashawn said. And more important, Mama Rossi said, Pet looks calm. Marco nodded. You're right. I haven't seen her this tranquil in weeks. She might just take care of this calf. He looked at Nicole. What do you think we should name it? Nicole thought for a minute. If it's a girl, I think we should call her Emily. She looked at Chase. What shall we call it if it's a boy? Chase smiled. Storm. 8:42 a.m. The calf finally managed to get to its feet and take a few wobbly steps. Tomas had pulled several bales of hay around the ring for everyone to sit on. Chase shared a bale with his father. Rashawn sat with Tomas. Richard with Cindy. Nicole was squeezed in between Marco and Mama Rossi. Mark was not sitting. He was darting around the ring, videotaping Pet and her calf. Tell me about your shoulder, Chase's father said. Chase described their desperate run across the crumbling levee road the previous day. His father shook his head in wonder. We saw you. What are you talking about? Your headlamps on the other end of the washed out road. Of course, we didn't know it was you. Mark caught it on video. Chase rubbed his sore shoulder. You wouldn't have been able to reach us. By then, the levee was gone. His father nodded. We'll have to get your shoulder checked out. I need to go to the dentist, too, Chase said, showing him his broken front tooth. We'll take care of that, too, his father said, and looked across the ring at the calf. Something wasn't right. His father wasn't asking the questions. After every storm, there was a debriefing. They would go over the disaster in minute detail, point by point, discussing what they had done and what they should have done. His father was exhausted. They were all exhausted, but that had never stopped him before. What's going on? Chase asked. His father looked at him with sad eyes. Earthquake. A big one. In Mexico. It's near Tomas's family. Nicole's mom and the circus are in the same area. They're off the grid. We can't reach them by phone. Does Nicole know? I doubt that Marco has had time to tell her, or his mother. The calf took some tentative steps underneath Pet. It put its tiny trunk over its head and opened its mouth. It's nursing, Nicole said happily. What are we going to do? Chase asked quietly. His father stood up. We're going to Mexico. And that is the end of the search.